white supremacist prison guards work with impunity in the state of Florida. That's according to a new report. Let me give you some background here. The Associated Press recently released a story that detailed multiple incidents of white supremacist prison guards abusing inmates and sometimes even being adversarial to black co-workers, okay? In June, 3 Florida prison guards who boasted of being white supremacists beat, pepper sprayed, and used a stun gun on an inmate who screamed, "I can't breathe," at a prison near the Alabama border. The next day, the officers at Jackson Correctional Institution did it again to another inmate. If you notice, these 2 incidents were people of color. The guards, let it be known they were white supremacists, the inmate Jamal Reynolds wrote. The black officers and white officers don't even mingle with each other. Every day they create a hostile environment trying to provoke us so they can have a reason to put their hands on us. Some Florida prison guards openly tout associations with white supremacist groups to intimidate inmates and black law enforcement colleagues. A persistent practice that often goes unpunished, according to allegations and public documents and interviews with a dozen inmates and current and former employees in the nation's 3rd largest prison system. Corrections officials regularly receive reports about guards' membership in the KKK and criminal gangs, according to former prison inspectors and current and former officers. They know about it. They know it's happening. They know that these guys are working inside of the system and they are criminals. They are white supremacists. Still, few such cases are thoroughly investigated by the state prison inspector. Many are downplayed by officers charged with policing their own or discarded as too complicated to pursue. I've visited more than 50 prison facilities and have seen that this is a pervasive problem that is not going away. Democratic Florida State Rep Diane Hart. It's partly due to our political climate, but those who work in our prisons don't seem to fear people knowing that they are white supremacists. Let's put up a picture of some guys. I want to tell you about them. Okay, you see them? In 2017, 3 current and former Florida guards, Charles Newcomb, Dave Elliott Morin, and Thomas Jordan, driver, who were KKK members, were convicted after the FBI caught them planning a black former inmate's murder, okay? This summer, one guard allowed 20 to 30 members of a white supremacist inmate group to meet openly inside of a Florida prison. A black officer happened upon the meeting, they told the AP, and later confronted the colleague who allowed it. The officer said their incident report about the meeting went nowhere and the guard who allowed it was not punished. It goes on and on. Now, we've exposed white criminal gangs right here on Indisputable. At one point, I ran the mugshot of the largest gang bust in the southern region of the United States of America, okay? These white supremacist gang members were plotting and planning and doing criminality, and they were going unnoticed. Jackson, what are your thoughts here?
My thoughts are that, a prison guard is really the perfect occupation for a white supremacist because you're primarily dealing with people who are considered to be outcasts of society. Primarily people in prison are blacks and Latinos, and people really don't pay attention to their health and their well-being because they're considered to be outcasts of society. So, it's good that there's been a little bit of justice and a little bit of spotlight, but as you pointed out, this happens all over the country because again, this is just an area where people really aren't paying much attention to. And if you're a lowlife, what's a better place to work than to go hurt people who are in prison?